The Vikings were skilled sailors and fierce warriors from Scandinavia. Their time, known as the Viking Age, lasted from around 750 AD to 1100 AD. They were known for their longboats, which they used to travel across the seas. They raided and traded, leaving their mark on much of Europe. But they were more than just raiders. They were also skilled craftsmen, explorers, and storytellers. The Vikings came from what we now know as Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. They traveled far and wide, reaching parts of Europe, Asia, and even North America. While they had a reputation for raiding, they were also traders and settlers. They established settlements in many of the lands they explored. Vikings were deeply connected to their mythology and beliefs. They worshipped gods like Odin, Thor, and Freya. The Vikings were driven by a thirst for adventure and new opportunities. They sailed across the North Sea and the Baltic Sea, establishing settlements in many lands. England, Ireland, and France felt the impact of their raids and eventually saw the establishment of Viking settlements. They sailed eastwards as well, traveling through rivers and across the Baltic Sea. They reached areas that are now part of Russia, Ukraine, and even made their way to Constantinople. Dublin, one of Ireland's most important cities, has its roots in a Viking settlement. They also left their mark on Scotland, particularly in the northern islands like Orkney and Shetland. They traded extensively and even served as mercenaries in the Byzantine army. Their influence in these eastern regions is still visible in place names and archaeological finds. Centuries have passed since the end of the Viking Age, but the legacy of these seafaring explorers lives on. Today, millions of people across Europe and beyond can trace their ancestry back to the Vikings. One way is through genetics. Scientists can now analyze DNA to identify genetic markers that are characteristic of people of Viking descent. Studies have shown that these markers are present in populations across Europe, particularly in Scandinavia, the British Isles, and parts of Russia. Another clue lies in surnames. Last names like Iverson or Ragnarsdottir in Scandinavian countries are a direct link to Viking Age naming conventions. In England, surnames like Thornton or Ravenscroft hint at a Viking past. Many towns and villages in England have names ending in by, Thorpe, or Thwaite, all of which are of Viking origin. These linguistic traces are a testament to the extent of Viking settlement and influence. The Vikings' presence can still be felt in the cultures of the lands they settled. From language to festivals, traces of their heritage are woven into the fabric of modern life. English in particular has borrowed numerous words from Old Norse, the language of the Vikings. Words like berserk, skull, and knife all have Viking roots. Beyond vocabulary, the Vikings' love for storytelling is evident in the sagas, epic tales of heroes and gods that continue to captivate readers today. These sagas offer valuable insights into Viking society, beliefs, and values. Festivals and traditions in many countries also reveal a Viking past. The Uphellier Fire Festival in Shetland, Scotland, involves a torchlit procession and the burning of a Viking longship. Even the game of chess, believed to have originated in India, found its way to Europe through Viking trade routes. These cultural echoes demonstrate how the Vikings' influence extended far beyond their military exploits. While the Vikings are often associated with their warrior culture and seafaring prowess, their influence on modern life extends far beyond these aspects. Their innovations in shipbuilding, trade, and social structures have shaped the world we live in today. The Vikings were master shipbuilders. Their longships, designed for speed and maneuverability, were marvels of engineering for their time. These ships enabled them to navigate rivers, cross open seas, and even sail up shallow rivers. Their shipbuilding skills had a lasting impact on maritime technology, influencing ship design for centuries to come. The Vikings' understanding of navigation, including their use of celestial navigation, also contributed to advancements in seafaring. They were also shrewd traders, establishing extensive trade routes that spanned across continents. This vast trade network fostered economic growth and cultural exchange. The Vikings' impact on modern society goes beyond their contributions to shipbuilding and trade. Their social structures and legal systems also left a lasting legacy, particularly in the areas they settled. The Vikings had a strong sense of community and a unique legal system known as the Thing. The Thing was an assembly where freemen could gather to discuss matters of law, resolve disputes, and make decisions that affected the community. This system of participatory democracy had a profound influence on the development of legal systems in Scandinavia and the British Isles. It laid the groundwork for later forms of representative government. The Vikings also placed great value on personal freedom and individual rights. Women in Viking society, while not equal to men, enjoyed a greater degree of freedom and rights compared to many other cultures of the time. These aspects of Viking society had a significant impact on the development of social norms and values in the regions they influenced. Though the Viking Age ended centuries ago, the spirit of the Vikings continues to resonate with people today. This enduring fascination with Viking culture can be seen in various aspects of modern life. From popular culture to outdoor pursuits, the Vikings continue to capture our imagination. Movies, TV shows, and books featuring Viking themes and characters enjoy immense popularity. The Vikings' connection to nature and their skills in seafaring, fishing, and crafts continue to inspire people today. There's a growing interest in experimental archaeology, with groups recreating Viking ships, houses, and tools. Museums across Europe and North America house impressive collections of Viking artifacts. The Vikings, once feared raiders who instilled terror across Europe, are now recognized as much more than just warriors. Their legacy is complex and multifaceted, encompassing exploration, trade, craftsmanship, storytelling, and a unique approach to social and legal structures. Their voyages of discovery expanded the map of the known world, their trade networks connected distant cultures, and their genes and cultural influences are still present in populations across Europe and beyond. While their methods were often brutal, their impact on the course of history is undeniable. The Viking story is a reminder that history is rarely black and white. They were capable of great violence and destruction, yet they were also skilled artisans, traders, explorers, and storytellers. Their legacy challenges us to look beyond simplistic narratives and to appreciate the complexity of human history.